Have you ever, tried to solve a problem by sketching it out or picturing a map in your head? It's not just you,
Yeah.
We humans, we think with both words, A and D images.
Right.
This powerful mental combo. It's called dual coding. And AI has really struggled to do that.
Exactly. It's something that AI has had a really hard time replicating up until now.
Until now.
Yeah.
So today we're diving into a paper called Imagine While Reasoning in Space, Multimodal Visualization-of-Thought.
Yes.
And this is research by Chengzu Li and their team.
Yes, that's right. We're taking a deep dive into that today. This paper is all about spatial reasoning in AI.
Okay, so why is spatial reasoning such a big deal for AI?
Well,
It's not like we're trying to make robots play chess,
Well, not exactly, but think about it this way, like a self-driving car that needs to navigate a complicated environment,
Sure.
or, robots working in warehouses, or even imagine robots that are helping out with surgeries.
Yeah.
All these tasks, they require a really, really deep understanding of positions and distances
Very cool.
and how things actually move and interact in space. It's
Right.
really like a fundamental part of intelligence and one that AI has had a hard time grasping.
So that's where this whole visualizing thought thing comes in.
Yeah.
Are we talking about AI with imagination?
It's not really imagination the way that humans have it,
Okay.
but it's a step closer to that,
Okay.
Think of it like this, like you're solving a puzzle,
Hmm.
You don't just think about the pieces in words, right?
Right.
You picture them in your mind, you rotate them, you try different combinations in your head.
Yeah.
This research is giving AI that same ability
Oh, wow.
to actually generate images as a part of its thought process.
So instead of just processing text,
Yeah,
the AI is generating images as it's working through a problem.
exactly, as it's reasoning.
That's pretty wild.
It is.
So how do they even manage to do that?
They use this really special kind of AI called an autoregressive MLLM.
Okay.
You can almost imagine it like a super smart autocomplete, but instead of just predicting what the next word in a sentence is,
Right.
it can predict words A and D images
Oh, wow.
based on everything that it's learned before.
So we don't have finger painting AIs just yet,
Not yet.
but they put this multimodal visualization of thought,
Yeah.
or MVoT, to the test, right?
Right.
What kind of spatial challenges do they throw at it?
They came up with 3 increasingly difficult tasks that mimic real-world scenarios.
Okay.
First one was MAZE.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward picture, a virtual maze, and the AI has to find its way out.
Classic test. I
Yeah.
immediately think of those rat psychology experiments, the maze running.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then they made it more difficult with mini behavior.
Okay.
This one was all about simulating a robot carrying out specific actions. So picking up a printer, moving it to another spot, turning it on,
Oh.
things like that.
So less navigating a maze and more about
Yeah,
interacting with objects in a three-dimensional space.
exactly.
Almost like IKEA assembly for AI.
Yeah, you could think of it that way.
Uh.
And finally, they had Frozen Lake, which is based on a classic video game.
Oh.
So you imagine like a grid with hidden holes, and the AI has to navigate to a goal without falling in one of those holes.
Oh, wow. So it's all about pattern recognition and adapting to the changing environment.
Exactly.
Okay, so Frozen Lake sounds pretty challenging. How did MVoT do against all these spatial puzzles?
The results were pretty incredible.
Really?
Yeah, for each of the tasks, MVoT consistently outperformed traditional AI models that were only relying on text-based reasoning.
Okay.
We're talking about performance boosts of over 20% in some cases.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not just a small improvement. It was a significant leap forward.
Especially for those tougher tasks.
Yeah.
Like Frozen Lake, where seeing the whole picture is so important.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because traditional AI, even with techniques like chain of thought prompting,
Mm-hmm.
they really struggled because they couldn't visualize the problem. It was almost like trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle in the dark.
Wow.
Whereas MVoT could actually see those spatial relationships.
Which made its reasoning much clearer and more effective.
It's like they finally gave AI the missing piece of the puzzle, that ability to process information visually
Right.
alongside the text, and the fact that it led to such a big performance jump
Yeah.
shows that this is not just some cool trick. This is like a fundamental shift in how AI can approach problem solving.
Exactly.
Wow, okay.
It's really interesting.
My mind is officially blown AI that can see the problem it's trying to solve.
Yeah.
It's like science fiction is becoming reality.
It's definitely pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible with AI. But before we get too carried away with the possibilities, let's take a closer look at how this MVoT magic actually works.
Okay.
We've talked about this special AI model that generates both words and pictures, but there's a crucial piece that we haven't mentioned yet, and it's called token discrepancy loss.
Token discrepancy loss.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty technical.
It is, a little bit. It's one of those terms that just makes me think of, complex equations and all sorts of computer science jargon. But it sounds important.
It is absolutely crucial because, remember, this AI model is working with both text and images.
Yeah.
And these are represented in the computer's brain using different types of tokens.
Okay.
So think of them as like digital building blocks. The challenge is making sure that those two worlds, the verbal and the visual, are speaking the same language.
Oh, so it's like translating between two different languages, making sure the meaning doesn't get lost.
That's a great analogy.
Okay.
Without that token discrepancy loss, the AI might generate images that are technically correct, but they don't actually match the intended meaning.
So it's like trying to describe a dream you had.
Yeah.
You might use words like surreal or bizarre.
Exactly.
But when you try to actually paint it, the colors and the shapes might not capture that same feeling.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So it's about making sure the AI's visual representation is aligned with its verbal understanding.
Like making sure its inner picture matches the words it's using.
Yeah, like making sure it's not just a jumbled mess.
Right. Otherwise, it's just a jumbled mess.
And the researchers found that without this loss function, the AI's images were full of errors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like irrelevant details would pop up, important elements would be missing. It was almost like the AI was hallucinating.
Oh, what?
But by incorporating this token discrepancy loss, they forced the AI to pay attention to the right things.
Okay.
And made sure that its visual representations were grounded in the task at hand.
It's almost like training a puppy.
Yes.
You got to reward the good behavior.
Yeah.
And correct the bad behavior to get the outcome you want. And in this case, the good behavior is generating those images that accurately reflect the AI's understanding of the problem.
Exactly.
Wow. It's fascinating how they had to build in these mechanisms to guide the AI towards the right kind of visual thinking.
It's really clever.
Yeah.
It highlights the ingenuity of the researchers who did this work. They didn't just create an AI that can generate images. They created an AI that can generate meaningful images that actually contribute to its problem-solving abilities.
Okay, so we've established that MVoT is a game changer.
Yes.
And we have like a basic understanding now of how it works.
Right.
But what I thought was really interesting was this whole bit about using MVoT as a plugin for GPT-4.
Yeah.
Now, GPT-4 is this massive, powerful AI model.
It is.
But can you remind us what makes it so special?
GPT-4, it's one of the most advanced language models out there. It was developed by OpenAI.
Okay.
It can do all kinds of things. It can generate realistic text, translate languages, write different kinds of creative content. It can answer your questions in an informative way, even if they're open-ended or challenging or strange.
But GPT-4, even though it's incredibly powerful,
it's
still primarily a language model.
Right.
So it's like a master wordsmith, but maybe not so great at visualizing things in 3D space.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what's so fascinating about this research.
Yeah.
Just by adding MVoT as a plugin, they were able to significantly boost GPT-4's performance on those spatial reasoning tasks.
It's like giving GPT-4 a pair of glasses. Allowing it to see the world in a whole new dimension.
Exactly.
Suddenly, this language-focused AI has gained this ability to think visually, to understand and manipulate objects in space.
Yeah.
The possibilities are kind of mind-boggling.
They are.
I mean, imagine a world where AI assistants can not only understand our verbal commands, but they can also interpret our sketches.
Our diagrams,
even our gestures.
Yeah.
They could help us design buildings, plan trips, even solve like complex scientific problems, all through a seamless blend of visual and verbal communication.
Right. It's a whole other level of collaboration.
We're talking about AI that can collaborate with us on a whole new level.
Yeah.
Understand not just what we say, but what we draw or point to.
Exactly.
Could revolutionize fields like architecture engineering, even art.
Yeah.
Instead of us struggling to communicate our visual ideas with words, we could just directly show the AI what we're thinking.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's not just about augmenting those existing AI systems.
Yeah.
Think about the new applications that we haven't even conceived of yet.
Exactly. What if we could use this to create AI systems that could design new materials?
Wow.
Or analyze medical images with greater accuracy, or even create art that rivals human creativity, all by reasoning visually.
Okay, now we're really getting into science fiction territory.
It's exciting to think about.
Yeah.
It really is.
It feels like we're on the cusp of a whole new era of AI.
Yeah.
One where that line between human and machine intelligence is becoming increasingly blurred.
It is a paradigm shift.
Right.
And it raises some fundamental questions about the nature of intelligence itself. If we can train AI to reason visually using these algorithms, what does that say about our own thinking?
Whoa.
Are we just sophisticated machines running on complex code?
Now you're getting philosophical.
A little bit.
I'm not sure I'm equipped to tackle that one.
Yeah.
But it definitely gives you pause. I mean,
it does.
We've always considered, our ability to think abstractly.
Yeah.
To create as something uniquely human.
Right.
But if AI can do that too, even if it's in a limited way, it challenges our understanding of what it means to be intelligent.
It really does.
It does. And it highlights the need for ongoing exploration and discussion.
Yeah.
As AI continues to evolve.
Exactly.
We're really just at the beginning of understanding the implications of this technology.
Yeah.
Both the good and the bad.
The potential benefits and the potential risks.
Yeah. So we've explored these technical marvels of MVoT.
Yeah.
We've glimpsed at its mind-blowing potential.
Yeah.
But there's one more crucial piece to this puzzle.
Yeah.
As AI evolves and gains these incredible capabilities, it's more important than ever to ask ourselves, what are the implications and how do we ensure responsible development?
You're absolutely right. It's not enough to just marvel at the technological advancements. We need to have a thoughtful and ongoing discussion about the ethical considerations that come along with AI that can think visually.
Right, because with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
And MVoT, with its potential to really reshape AI, definitely falls into that great power category. So where do we even begin to untangle these ethical knots?
I think one of the first things that we need to consider is the potential for misuse.
Okay.
MVoT has all these incredible possibilities for good, but those same capabilities could also be used for malicious purposes.
That's a sobering thought.
Yeah.
We're talking about AI that can understand and manipulate visual information, maybe even better than humans.
Exactly.
It's not hard to imagine how that power could be used for, creating deepfakes or manipulating images for propaganda.
Exactly. And as this technology gets more advanced, we need to be really careful about developing safeguards to prevent that kind of misuse. It's so important that we have open conversations about the potential risks and really set clear guidelines for ethical development and deployment.
Right.
We need to make sure that MVoT is used for good.
To benefit society.
Exactly. To benefit society rather than harm it.
So it's not just about building the technology. It's about building it responsibly with careful consideration of what could go wrong.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it. It's like putting safety features on a powerful tool,
Yeah.
You want to make sure that it's used for the right purpose and that it doesn't accidentally cause harm.
And education and awareness are key.
They're crucial. We need to educate the public about what MVoT can do, its capabilities and limitations.
Yeah.
The potential risks and the benefits, the more people understand about this technology, the better equipped they'll be to make informed decisions about its use.
And advocate for responsible development.
Exactly.
I totally agree. We need to demystify AI.
Yeah.
Make it accessible to everybody, not just the tech people, because it's going to impact all of us.
It will, and I think that's one of the most exciting things about MVoT.
Right.
It has the potential to bridge the gap between the technical and the non-technical, to make AI more intuitive and understandable for everyone. Imagine a world where we can interact with AI more naturally, using images and visuals alongside words.
It's like taking a really complex concept and making it visual.
Yeah.
Making it click for people who don't have a technical background.
Exactly.
Suddenly AI isn't this mysterious black box.
Right.
It's something that we can see and understand, something we can collaborate with.
Exactly.
More effectively.
That's what I find so hopeful about this research. It's not just about pushing the boundaries of technology. It's about pushing the boundaries of human-machine interaction and finding new ways for humans and machines to work together.
So as we're wrapping up this deep dive, what's the key takeaway for our listeners? What should they walk away with?
I think the main message is this: be curious, be informed, and be engaged.
Yeah.
AI is evolving really quickly, and technologies like MVoT have the potential to transform our world in really big ways. It's up to all of us to stay informed, to ask questions, and to be active participants in shaping the future of this technology.
Don't be afraid to dive into the details.
Yeah.
To understand how this works and what it means for you.
Exactly.
Because the future of AI, it's not predetermined. It's up to us as creators and users of these powerful tools to steer it in a direction that benefits all of humanity.
Beautifully said. And I think that wraps up our deep dive into multimodal visualization of thought.
It's been a fascinating journey.
It has.
Exploring all the technical intricacies, the potential, and the ethical considerations.
A huge thank you to you for having me today. It's been a pleasure.
A huge thank you to our expert for guiding us through this complex and exciting topic.
Yeah.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep imagining the possibilities. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, my mind is officially blown AI that can see the problem it's trying to solve.
Yeah, it's definitely pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, it's like science fiction is becoming reality.
It is, but before we get too carried away with all the possibilities, let's take a closer look at how this MVoT magic actually works.
Okay.
So we've talked about this special AI model that can generate both words and images.
Right.
But there's a crucial piece of the puzzle we haven't really talked about yet.
Okay.
It's called token discrepancy loss.
Token discrepancy loss. That sounds pretty technical.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
Makes me think of complex equations and computer science jargon.
It is, but it's important.
Okay, it sounds important.
Yeah, so remember, this AI model is working with both text and images.
Yeah.
And these are represented in the computer's brain, using different types of tokens.
Okay.
Think of them like digital building blocks.
Okay.
The challenge is really making sure that these two worlds, the verbal and the visual, are speaking the same language.
So it's like translating between two different languages and making sure the meaning doesn't get lost?
Exactly. That's a great analogy. Without this token discrepancy loss, the AI might generate images that are technically correct, but don't actually match up with the intended meaning.
So it's like trying to describe a dream that you had.
Yes.
You might use words like surreal or bizarre.
Right.
But if you tried to paint it,
yeah,
the colors and the shapes might not capture that same feeling.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So it's really about making sure that the AI's visual representation is actually aligned with its verbal understanding.
But making sure that its inner picture matches the words it's using.
Yeah, like making sure it's not just a jumbled mess.
Otherwise, it's just a jumbled mess.
Yeah, and the researchers found that without this loss function, the AI's images were just riddled with errors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, irrelevant details would pop up. Important elements would be missing. It was almost like the AI was hallucinating.
Oh, wow.
But by incorporating this token discrepancy loss, they forced the AI to pay attention to the right things and made sure that its visual representations were grounded in the task at hand.
So it's like training a puppy.
Yes.
You have to reward the good behavior.
Yeah.
Correct the bad behavior to get the outcome you want.
Right.
And in this case, the good behavior is generating those images that accurately reflect the AI's understanding of the problem.
Exactly.
That's fascinating how they had to build in these mechanisms.
It is. It's really clever.
To guide the AI towards the right kind of visual thinking.
It highlights the ingenuity of the researchers who worked on this. They didn't just create an AI that can generate images. They created an AI that can generate meaningful images that contribute to its problem-solving abilities.
Okay, so we've established that MVoT is a game changer.
Yes.
And we've got like a basic understanding of how it works.
Right.
But what I thought was really cool was this whole bit about using MVoT as a plugin for GPT-4.
Yeah.
Now, GPT-4, I know it's this massive, super powerful AI model.
It is.
Can you remind us what makes it so special?
GPT-4 is one of the most advanced language models that we have. It was developed by OpenAI, and it can do so many different things. It can generate really realistic text, translate languages, write different kinds of creative content. It can answer your questions in a really informative way, even if they're open-ended, challenging, or strange.
But even though GPT-4 is so powerful, it's still primarily a language model.
That's right.
So it's like a master wordsmith but maybe not so great at visualizing things in 3D space.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what makes this research so fascinating. Yeah. Because just by adding MVoT as a plugin, they were able to really boost GPT-4's performance on all of those spatial reasoning tasks.
It's like giving GPT-4 a pair of glasses, allowing it to see the world in a whole new dimension.
Exactly.
Suddenly, this language-focused AI has gained this incredible ability to think visually, to understand and manipulate objects in space.
That's right.
The possibilities are mind-boggling.
They really are.
Imagine a world where AI assistants can not only understand our verbal commands, but also interpret our sketches, our diagrams, even our gestures.
Right.
They could help us design buildings, plan trips, solve complex scientific problems.
Yeah.
All through this seamless blend of visual and verbal communication.
It's a whole new level of collaboration between humans and AI.
We're talking about AI that can collaborate with us on a whole new level.
Yeah.
Understanding not just what we say, but what we draw or even point to.
Exactly.
It could revolutionize fields like architecture engineering, even art.
It could.
Instead of us struggling to communicate our visual ideas with words, we could just directly show the AI what we're thinking.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's not just about, augmenting those existing AI systems.
Right.
Think about the entirely new applications that we haven't even conceived of yet.
Exactly. What if we could use this to create AI systems that could design new materials?
Yeah.
Or analyze medical images with greater accuracy, or even create art that rivals human creativity, all by reasoning visually in ways that we can't even imagine.
Okay, now we're really getting into science fiction territory.
Yeah, it is, but it's exciting to think about.
Yeah.
The possibilities are really endless.
It feels like we're on the cusp of a whole new era of AI.
Yeah.
One where that line between human and machine intelligence is becoming increasingly blurred.
It's a paradigm shift.
It is.
And it raises some really fundamental questions about the nature of intelligence itself. Yeah. If we can train AI to reason visually using these algorithms, what does that say about our own thinking? Are we just sophisticated machines running on complex code?
Whoa, now you're getting philosophical.
A little bit.
I'm not sure I'm equipped to handle that one.
It's a big question.
But it definitely gives you pause.
Yeah.
I mean, we've always considered,
it does.
Our ability to think abstractly, to imagine, to create as something uniquely human.
Right.
But if AI can do that too, even if it's in a limited way, it really challenges our understanding of what it means to be intelligent.
It really does.
It does. And it highlights the need for this ongoing exploration and discussion as AI continues to evolve. We're really just at the beginning of understanding the implications of this technology.
There.
Both the potential benefits and the potential risks.
Yeah, exactly.
We've explored all the technical marvels of MVoT.
Yeah.
We've seen its mind-blowing potential.
Right.
But, there's one more piece to this puzzle.
Yeah.
As AI evolves and gets these incredible capabilities, it's more important than ever to ask ourselves, what are the implications?
Yeah.
How do we ensure responsible development?
That's a great point. It's not enough to just marvel at how amazing the technology is.
Right.
We need to think about it carefully and talk about the ethical considerations that come along with AI that can think visually.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly.
And MVoT, with its potential to reshape AI, definitely falls into that great power category.
Right.
So where do we even begin to untangle all these ethical knots?
I think a good place to start is with the potential for misuse.
Okay.
So MVoT has all these amazing possibilities for good.
Right. But those same capabilities could be used for bad things too.
That's a sobering thought.
Yeah.
We're talking about AI that can understand and manipulate visual information.
Yeah.
Maybe even better than humans.
It's possible.
It's not hard to imagine how that power could be used for things like creating deepfakes.
Yeah.
Or, manipulating images for propaganda.
Exactly. And as the technology continues to advance, we need to be thinking about safeguards to prevent that kind of misuse. It's so important to have open conversations about the risks.
Yeah.
And set clear guidelines for ethical development.
Right.
We need to make sure that MVoT is used to benefit society and not to harm it.
So it's not just about building the technology, it's about building it responsibly.
Yeah.
With careful consideration of the potential consequences.
Right. It's like you said earlier.
Yeah.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly. And it's like putting safety features on a powerful tool.
You want to make sure it's used for its intended purpose.
Yeah.
And doesn't accidentally cause harm.
And education is key.
Yeah.
We need to educate people about MVoT, what it can do, what its limitations are, the potential risks and benefits.
Right. The more people understand this technology,
exactly,
the better equipped they'll be to make good decisions about its use.
Right, and advocate for responsible development.
I completely agree. We need to demystify AI, make it accessible to everyone, not just the tech folks.
Absolutely.
Because ultimately this is going to impact all of us.
It really will, and I think that's one of the exciting things about MVoT.
Yeah.
It has this potential to make AI more intuitive and understandable for everyone.
Imagine a world where we can interact with AI so naturally.
Yeah.
Using images and visuals right alongside words.
Yeah, that's the goal.
It's like taking a complex concept and making it visual.
Yeah.
Making it click for people who might not have a technical background.
Exactly.
And suddenly AI isn't this mysterious black box anymore. It's something we can actually see and understand.
And collaborate with.
Something we can collaborate with more effectively.
I find that really hopeful.
Yeah.
It's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about changing how humans and machines interact and finding new ways to work together.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
what's
the one key takeaway for our listeners? What should they walk away with?
Be curious, be informed, and be engaged.
Mm-hmm.
AI is changing so quickly.
Yeah.
And these technologies like MVoT could change the world in huge ways.
Yeah.
It's up to all of us to learn about this, to ask questions, and to be part of shaping where this technology goes.
Don't be afraid to dive into those details.
Yeah.
Understand how it works and what it means for you.
That's right.
Because ultimately, the future of AI is not set in stone.
It's not.
It's up to us as creators and users of these powerful tools to steer it in a direction that benefits everyone.
Beautifully said.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into multimodal visualization of thought.
Yeah.
It's been a fascinating journey exploring the technical details, the potential, and all the ethical considerations.
It really has.
A huge thank you to our expert for walking us through this complex and exciting topic.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And to all our listeners, thank you so much for joining us. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep imagining the possibilities. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.